Hey, Karen, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very, very good.
Oh, this is wonderful. The weekend was beautiful. I hope spring is really, really coming soon. Just
Yeah,
cross fingers.
finally a
Mhm.
break in the weather. And yeah, both days, Saturday and Sunday in Toronto, were warm and sunny. Everyone was outside. It was just
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. We got another great episode today, of course. I look forward to these every time we video together. It's just like we're visiting friends and we're meeting new people and sharing the content and elevating the industry. I love that.
Yeah.
So our guest today, the company that her brand is called the Knotty Spot. And I met Maquita at the Natural Hair Industry Convention in 2018. Do you remember meeting her? We
Yes, I do.
talked briefly. I mean, there were so many people we met that weekend.
Yeah.
And so, we connected through Instagram, of course, and stayed in touch. Fast forward a couple of years, I had a client that came in and he didn't have enough hair on the top of his head to have locks. And I can do some weave work. It's not my strength, but I know how to track hair and to sew. And I said, let me experiment, let me try this. And so I created a lock piece. I didn't really do much research. I just sort of used my head and got some lace and tried to create the locks, cultivate the locks for his area on the head. And it seemed to work out great. For me, what I've been doing is adding length to his lock piece as his own locks are growing, so it blends. Ah.
Hmm.
Now, I'm very curious to talk to Maquita because she has blown this out. Like, you need to see this woman's work. And hopefully she'll have something to show us, because if you're watching on YouTube versus on Spotify or Anchor or Google Podcasts, all the platforms, jump onto YouTube because you need to see her work, right? All
Hmm.
right, so without further ado, let's meet Maquita from the Knotty Spot. Hi.
Hi
Hi.
everyone.
Welcome.
I'm Maquita James. I am owner of the Knotty Spot, where we transition hair from naughty to nice. That's our corny slogan. Um,
From naughty
I
to
think everybody
nice.
should have one.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so I came up with the idea to create a wig and a lock toupee because I see so many clients that have issues with losing their hair, whether it be from them being cancer survivors, having alopecia is very, very common, um, and even burn victims.
Mm.
So there are so many people that can benefit from using my hair pieces.
So I want to
Um,
backtrack a little bit because I want to get the backstory. So you're a licensed loctician? Are you a
uh,
loctician or hairstylist?
I am in namesake. I'm a licensed cosmetologist,
There you go.
but I specialize in dreadlocks,
Yes.
maintenance, extensions, repair. So I'm by namesake. I am a loctician. That is what I do.
I'm
Yes.
giving the thumbs.
Um, yeah. So I have one of my wigs that I started here. It is full lace.
Wow, full lace. Look at that.
Yes. So full lace meaning you can see the scalp through the lace, so it looks like it's growing from your scalp.
Right.
Um, I had to learn a whole lot about wigs before even starting this. It was a lot of trial and error. All wigs are not the same. Some people are like, "Oh, okay, well, you can get a wig from anywhere," but to make it look as real as possible, the materials, especially for African American people, is very hard to find um, lace wigs that mimic our hair texture.
Right.
It's very hard to ventilate, is what I'm learning. Kinky textured hair with lace.
Mm.
And that's the process of wig making. Like pretty much what I'm doing is I'm taking um, a kinky lace, a kinky lace wig or toupee, and I'm attaching extensions to it, which I can do with just about any texture. But with the kinky texture, I'm just, it's a little easier for me to do because I'm still learning how to lock straight textures myself. So
Okay.
Well, so is that human hair or synthetic?
it's human hair.
Yep.
Yes, this hair can be lightened, it can be colored. I actually have another one, which I am waiting on the locks to get here, but it for it. But this one is my blondie.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Look at that. So you've parted it all out and then you'll attach the lock extensions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't really have any plans for this one, so I may end up coloring it, depositing a color into it. But yeah.
Do you actually attach the hair to the lace yourself, or does it come with the hair attached?
I'm gifted in many ways, but not like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were talking about ventilation, so you haven't learned how to actually ventilate the hair.
No, I haven't. But it is something that I would like to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It's a niche market, and for anybody who's listening, to understand the word ventilate means to essentially strand by strand hook each hair into the lace, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hooking each hair in, so imagine just looking at your own head and your own scalp and you seeing millions of strands of hair, and you're doing it to a piece of lace. Tiny, tiny, tiny little holes. So it takes a very, very long time. And I've learned that there are machines that can actually do this. So there's a lot of, I'm learning about machine-made wigs versus handmade wigs. It's a lot of information to take in.
Have you worked with synthetic hair as well, or is it all just human hair you work with?
All human hair. Synthetic hair isn't. I'll say synthetic hair isn't my cup of tea, only because I'm very limited in what I can do with it. I like for hair to look as natural as possible, or as close to the real thing as possible. So I personally prefer human hair.
Oh, that makes sense. And what inspired you? Like, what was sort of the trigger of moving into this particular niche area?
Just running into clients that have these issues. As I said before, having alopecia, and they come to cosmetologists and think that we can do any and everything with hair, where our specialty is beautifying. Cosmos, meaning to beautify, and that's all. Of course, we know sanitation and how to care for hair, but growing isn't a specialty that we're licensed to give advice on. And I try to tell clients that come in with those issues that when it comes to growing hair, it's kind of like we have to treat our heads like plants or flowers. Keep it clean, keep it moisturized. Of course, take vitamins, give it sunlight, give it air. But that's the most that I've been able to tell people. And I see that it's kind of, I guess it can still be very disappointing when they're having growth issues with their hair and we're not able to help them or help remedy it because they've gone to dermatologists or trichologists that specialize in hair loss and scalp issues. So with my job being to beautify, I just would like to be able to do any and everything that I can to help clients that have hair loss issues.
See, that's beautiful, because we are so much more than just hairstylists, locticians, beauticians, right? We know that we're connected with our clients, that we have personal relationships with them. And we have, many of us have empathy. A good stylist will really care. And especially in the natural hair industry, as a natural hair stylist, it's so much more than hair. An identity, right?
Yeah, and our identity is very, very important. It ties into our self-esteem. I've seen clients even suffer from depression from just not having hair, they put so much into it, their identity, and how you see yourself is very, very important.
Well, here, for instance, in Canada, in Toronto, we've been in lockdown since November, end of November, and I think it's starting to have ramifications on people. I mean, like doing your hair and making yourself look pretty seems like a frivolous sort of a thing, but
Yeah.
after a year of not having your usual color and your ends cleaned up and your locks nice and tightened, and people are starting to show the signs of depression, and it's just really something that I've become very, very aware of in the last little while. So yeah, it is an important part of who we are, and self-esteem is huge. And I think that yeah, what we do is really a benefit to the community, and what you do. My gosh, it's your Instagram absolutely blew me away. Like the styling that you do, oh my god, it's unparalleled. It's just so insane, the colors and everything. So I
Thank
was
you.
really, really impressed.
How long
Thank
have you
you.
been doing the wig work?
Um, my very first unit, I did that one in August of 2019.
So yeah, I mean, you're natural. You just have taken it to a whole different level. Do you have a preference about doing full wigs or lock pieces? Can you talk about some of the pieces, for areata, alopecia?
Um, I would say I like doing the toupee pieces. They don't take as long, and the areas, I guess, it's I see more people that have crown issues than having patchiness or being completely bald. So the toupee pieces are my favorite. Um, right now, because of COVID, they are very hard to obtain. So you can only imagine supply and demand right now is really crazy. But yeah, I prefer to do the toupee pieces.
How do people attach them? How do you attach them? Or do they come in? What's the process?
I use a micro crochet tool um, to attach them. I know there are different ways of attaching locks, but I prefer to use the crochet method. Um, it really just depends on the texture of the piece that I'm attaching the locks to.
Makes sense.
But definitely, yes, the crochet method.
Cool. What about other people in the industry? Have you checked out other people's work and sort of networked?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, am I mistaken right now? I love Chris McDread and his crochet work. I love Hair by Rail for the style. Her styles are like, I've never seen anybody style
Shout
like
out to
her.
Rel. We need her on the show.
Yes, I love Hair by Rail. I try to be, well, I don't want to say I try to be like her, but I try to like mimic a lot of her hairstyles with my own, of course, spin on it. Um, colors, Rich by Mindset.
Mhm.
I love you. I love your work. Yeah, I get in Fresh Lock. I'll say between you and Fresh Lock, I definitely learn a lot about locking straight hair textures. And all of that just plays a part in creating these hair pieces.
Yeah, that's great.
Amazing.
You're probably very, very busy, I imagine.
Yes, it has been a struggle with trying to maintain my regular clientele and then also making these units. I find myself doing it in my spare time, even taking work home, which I try not to do, but yeah, just making a few adjustments so I can help more people.
Oh, that's great.
I know there's a huge film community in Georgia. And there's probably some spillover demand to where you are in South Carolina. Do you get people from TV and film reaching out to you for pieces ever?
Not yet.
Ah,
Yeah.
Hopefully, hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully. And I'll say one of my other greatest inspirations was the Black Panther movie and seeing the lock unit that Angela Bassett wore. I love whoever did that. Like I say shout out to them.
that was Camille
That was
Friend.
amazing.
Was that
You
Camille
said
Friend?
Yeah, Camille Friend is her name.
Camille
Did the wig?
Friend.
Yeah, yeah, you should check her out on Insta. She's amazing.
I was fascinated by the texture, the color. I mean, it was white. First of all, platinum blonde is the highest that I've ever lifted hair, but it was white, and I thought that was just different. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Now,
like
on the show,
gray.
we had, sorry, we had a guest on and we were talking about the future of locks. And it was interesting. We were, looking at films and characters in films that actually had locks that were based in the future. And I brought up the fact that it's interesting how so many of the locks in future films are colored and a lot of them are white, like Matrix. And there's another example.
Mhm.
Black Panther.
Wow.
But I think that
Yeah.
that's gray versus blonde.
Yeah,
But
yeah, but
Wow.
it seems to be a thing.
yeah. Yeah, there's so much more diversity. Yeah, with you mentioned Maquita, you mentioned Chris McDread, obviously a good friend of ours. He's been a regular on our show, and he has a very strong opinion that everybody in the world should have dreadlocks once in their life. He calls it, locks once in a lifetime, and I subscribe to that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Definitely.
especially
Definitely.
with the wigs and the weaves, it opens opportunity, right? We already, faux locks has been around for a very long time, um and ponies are now, just having lock ponytail, just tie it in. He says it doesn't matter. He says express yourself, right? And everybody chooses locks as a lifestyle for their own personal reasons. And if you have them for 6 months or 6 decades, then it's, it's your journey, right?
Right. Right. Um. Gosh, my mind just keeps blanking. I just thought about maybe I'm seeing more little girls with locks, and I
Yes.
love to see that. I'm so used to seeing little boys with them, but you're seeing more and more little girls, and I think parents were thinking, well, with girls, with locks is such a permanent thing, and girls they like to change their hair up, but they're seeing that you can do so much more with locks now, um, as far as colors and styles. And I tell people there's nothing that you can't do with locks that you can't do with with loose hair, like bangs. You want to wear a bob, a haircut, shortcut. You can do anything with locks.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
That's
I have to do that my own daughter like that because she'll see another little girl and she'll say, "Well, I can't wear my hair like that. I don't want to wear my hair like that." And I said, yes, you can," and I have to show her that
yes,
you can.
you can. Yes, you can. And that's really all it comes down to is just is education, positivity, embracing the hair texture that you have. And there are, I've mentioned this. I just actually joined Clubhouse. Are you on Clubhouse?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna
Yes.
we're gonna link up on Clubhouse. But just talking about um the well, guess what, guys? I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, it happens to me a lot.
thank God for editors.
Well, who knows? Maybe he'll just leave it in. We don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe we should take a break and then come back and we can talk a little bit more and maybe do a giveaway to the audience. What do you think? What do you think about
for
that?
sure. Sounds
Okay.
Yeah.
good. We'll be right
Okay.
back.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Loctalk is proudly sponsored by World Hair and Skin. Clean, minimal, and effective products not tested on animals to help you save on your plastic footprint and stay healthy.
Loctalk is sponsored by Modlocks, modest hair, modified dreadlocks, modern world. Hey, Brian, catch!
Because good-looking locks like this don't happen without great education.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
So we're back, and Maquita, you mentioned earlier that you use a micro-locking technique to attach the hair to the lace, and I'm wondering what's the difference between micro-locking and regular crocheting with a small hook?
I call it micro crocheting. I call it that, but it's much, if you're familiar with crocheting, like blankets, scarves, hats, the hook, now this is a latch hook, which is not the same thing, but the hook is fairly large. But with crocheting locks, this hook is very, very small. It's much smaller. I would say micro small, which is why I've been calling it micro crocheting.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's part of your language, your brand language, if you will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and it, pretty much knots the hair from the inside, instantly locking it.
But that's not just any crochet hook, my friend. Please tell me what that is, because I just saw her, guys, if you're listening, she just retracted the hook into the handle, okay? It was like some kind of mad science magic. I don't know.
It is magic.
Well, I got tired of these are very common. You can find these a lot of places.
Yeah, handles.
Now you can find these a lot of places. They're crochet hooks, 0.75 and 0.5 millimeter. But I got tired of I keep my stuff in a nice organized little tray, but sometimes if I'm working, I'll drop it. Or and what'll happen, and I actually did that with one of my retractables, but it's because I didn't have it retracted. It'll get bent.
Right.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And it'll damage your tool and you gotta go out and buy another one. So this one is one that I had made by a company called Alley Leader, and it's a retractable.
Wow.
Crochet hook.
Great. Game changer. Guys, listen, you need to go to YouTube and check this out.
I sell these on my website, thenottyspot.com.
Okay.
And it's I have 0.5 and then 0.75, double on one end, and then the other end is a single.
Two-sided.
I need one of those.
Are you protected? Do you have a patent pending? Like, you need to make sure that this is you need to protect it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
seriously, we are going to help make sure that you get some protection, some patent pending protection on that, for sure.
Yes. But very convenient. You can just, once it's retracted, you can just throw it in your bag.
Yep.
Take it wherever you want to take it.
Brilliant. And you don't stab yourself because it's retracted, right? It's
yeah. So, yeah, definitely. You don't stab yourself.
I've never seen one like that before. It's terrific.
Amazing. Yeah.
What other tricks do you have up your sleeve, Maquita? Come on.
Honestly, if I had them, y'all would definitely see them on my page. But definitely I'm doing just about everything that you see most locticians doing now, except for wicks. Wicks that's something that I would love to get into. And I'm asked a lot if I do wicks, but I just can't. I'm trying to learn though.
Mm. I think yeah, you're extraordinarily talented and you are a true entrepreneur.
Mhm.
I'm so glad that we've connected and we can elevate and share you to everybody out there to say, like, follow Maquita, follow the Naughty Spot. She's in South Carolina, right?
Yes.
Like,
Please follow
do you
me.
work alone or?
I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. I have a partner, Mitchell Bell. You can follow him also on Instagram, Mitchell Bell 27. And like I said, we're in Columbia, South Carolina. It's just the two of us. We don't have a very large salon, but we can pretty much meet all of your needs.
It's a you're in the salon now, right?
Yes,
That
I'm in the
background is
salon right now.
amazing. I love it. And she's got the logo in the background in one of the little triangles.
So this is the salon.
Wonderful.
Wow. What a space.
Yes, great light.
And we also have a shampoo room with a color bar. If you'd like to see that too, I can
Yeah, that's
take you back there too.
Oh yeah, let's go for a walk.
Let's go for a walk. So back here is
Wow, beautiful.
Holy smokes.
the shampoo room where we pretty much sanitize everything, all of the bowls, and then lots and lots of colors to choose from.
So how long have you been there, Maquita?
We've been here since July of last year, which was crazy because we moved in the middle of a pandemic. So,
Yeah.
But we made it. We couldn't get any extra time on our other lease at our old salon. So it was crazy, but we made it.
Well, congratulations. Amazing.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, beautiful
Hey,
space.
What say we do a little giveaway?
Yeah.
Is it time? Mm-hmm. Okay. So Loctalk is sponsored by Noggin Oil. And we try to give away a combo for every episode of Loctalk for season 2. And so, Maquita, we think that you could provide us with maybe a trivia question, something that relates to a part of the conversation we had earlier on today. And then on YouTube, when this episode premieres, so right now, as it's premiering, the first person to comment the answer to Maquita's question will get a Noggin Oil combo. How does that sound?
Sounds good. Okay, so pop quiz. I spoke earlier in the conversation about the process of putting hair on lace wigs. The first person that can answer that question will win a prize.
So the question is, what is the word to use to describe the process of hooking hair into a lace wig? Is that right?
Yes.
All right. So it's a one-word answer, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And that's the clue, and that's all we're going to say about that. We're going to follow your partner. What's his name again?
Mitchell Bell.
Mitchell Bill. All right.
Yes.
And
at Mitchell Bell 27 on Instagram.
Bill 27. Got it. And we will connect on Clubhouse. What's your Clubhouse name?
My Clubhouse name is The Knotty Spot.
Brilliant.
You can find me on all platforms at The Knotty Spot.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Is there anything else we wanted to say before we sadly part ways?
I think that's it. Please visit my website. That's www.thenottyspot.com.
Brilliant. Well, I wish you all the best, and we're going to stay in touch. I'm going to help you with that hook, okay? Because I think I'm serious.
Please.
You need to take care of your property. So, yes. Thank you, Maquita. It was really nice talking to you.
Thank you guys. And it was great doing this with you guys.
Good. All right. So until next time, thank you everybody for listening, for watching, and peace out. See you next time. Woo!
Bye.
Bye, Maquita.
Bye-bye.
Loctalk. Talk was brought to you by.
Noggin Oil, Modlocks, World Hair and Skin.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.